Whew, lad, let me be the first to say, after Gamescom 2018, the news has been pretty astonishing, pretty crazy to take in, from the 45-minute or 48-minute presentation of Cyberpunk. That demo was incredible, to the Streets of Rage 4 announcement. Now we have a new challenger hopping back into the forefront, a new challenger hopping back into the ring, and we're talking about Onimusha Warlords from Capcom. It has been no surprise that it seems like Capcom has been on quite the redemption arc from putting out games that people actually want to see, like Devil May Cry 5, putting out content like the Resident Evil 2 remake, putting out various Mega Man related material when Mega Man has been dead for nearly a decade. Now we have Onimusha Warlords, which is a samurai hack and slash fixed camera game that was done in 2001, I think. I enjoyed the first title a lot. I played the first one for a bit. I played the third one and I beat Demon Siege. I also have Dawn of Dreams. I played that for a little bit, and I also have the harder version of Onimusha Warlords, Gemma Onimusha, on the original Xbox, which that quite surprised me when I played the first level and I almost died in that game because the familiarity goes right out of the window when the harder enemies and different areas come into the forefront. Onimusha Warlords, man, this remaster, I think the reason why Capcom is putting something like this out is they want to gauge the water, because if you haven't been well aware, if you've been living under a rock for the past month or so, you would realize that samurai games, they are having a very, very blatant resurgence. You have Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. We had Neo 2's coming out. We also have Ghost of Tsushima. That game is looking pretty cool as well. So a lot of samurai titles are coming into the forefront, and I suppose it is finally time for Capcom to bring back another one with this title. So they want to test the water and they want to see, hey, this is Onimusha. Are people still invested in this IP? Will people still buy this IP? Before we continue on and possibly make another AAA title, which I'm speculating that could drop in 2020 or I wouldn't say 2019, maybe 2020, 2021, because other games are coming out. They want to see how DMC5 does, and they want to see how RE2 Remake does. Could this remaster lead to a potentially new Onimusha game? Well, we'll find out down the road. I am excited. I love these games to death, and I'm going to get into like everything else, but my experience with Onimusha has been great. I think it's a great fixed camera hack and slash. They broke the conventions from Resident Evil. It originally was going to be a Resident Evil spin-off with ninjas, but they changed it to fit the more feudal Japan style gameplay, and I love it. Demons, fast paced. It's like fast paced RE, but you have a fucking sword, and that's pretty cool. Gemma Onimusha, this is the big circulation around this news. Gemma Onimusha content has a big question mark because this is the Onimusha Warlords version. I'm sure while a lot of people would have preferred the original Xbox version, what is the excuse for Capcom not using Gemma? That's kind of weird. Gemma is a harder variant of Onimusha Warlords, but they have more content. So I'm wondering, will that be a mode? Will they go ahead and put in that extra effort to put in extra content from Gemma into Warlords Remastered? Who knows? But that is disappointing if they don't consider the option down the line, or maybe the option could be DLC. Like I said, Gemma content for now is probably out of the loop, but hopefully Capcom reconsiders. Now we're going to the next piece of news here. Easy mode game journalist mode. I'm sorry. I had a cough in my throat. Easy mode is going to be available from the beginning of the game, as opposed to dying on a certain enemy a set number of times before easy mode is given to you. That's good. That's good for game journalists, at least. I'm sorry. The game will have a widescreen panning mode, similar to how the camera pans in between shots in Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil 0. This makes me curious, and it makes me wonder, did they do the same process that they did with Resident Evil Remake, where they opened the game up, changed some things around? At that point, it would make total sense for them to include some of the game content if they decided to add extra things to the game. We don't know yet. That's the news so far. I'm not surprised if they do put in extra costumes, but that's not all. Apparently, they also changed the soundtrack. There was some fallout between one of the original composers that did the Onimusha soundtrack and the awful, downright terrible, downright absolute shitty Resident Evil Director's Cut OST. We're talking about the DualShock version, of course, where you get to hear such riveting soundtracks like this. I think he was accused of pretending to be blind or deaf. I forget the story. Maybe they don't want to pay that guy royalties, so they decided to do a completely new soundtrack for this game. It makes total sense. Also, Onimusha will have, you know, the widescreen mode and everything. You can pick between 4:3 and 16:9, which is good. If you want to play with the original letterboxing, you can totally do that in this game. It will be a feature. They also said that the game is coming out January 15th, 2019. I'm just double checking. That's a week before Resident Evil 2 Remake, so that's interesting. Last but not least, there will also be analog support, and in this screenshot right here, I will show you guys the comparison that Capcom did between the original Onimusha and the new remaster. The screenshot is looking pretty good. They cleaned up rather well when it came to the graphics and the jaggies and the blur and everything. Everything looks nice. All the backgrounds, they don't look all washed out, in my opinion. And then we have the final question. The final question is, will they remaster other Onimusha titles? There might be a little bit of red tape here because, again, the actor who played Jubei Yagyu in Onimusha 2 unfortunately passed away, so Capcom, they may have to do some headhunting for the families in case there might be some legality there where, you know, the family, you know, you're using like our family member's face in your video game and he passed away. I might want some royalties here. And then, you know, they have to talk to Gene Reno about using his likeness again and all this other stuff. I'm sure he might be fine with it, but still there is that issue of them using the realistic face scans back then for the actors, for the characters in their games. Other than that, maybe they can also go in and fix the faces as well because they do have the coding, so that could be a possibility. You never know. Anyway, that is my news update for now, talking about Onimusha Warlords coming to all the consoles that are current gen. That's PC, Xbox One, PS4, and the Switch. The Switch is getting a W here with a great experience. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys really enjoy the news of Onimusha coming back into town. What are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about the remaster? And do you think that Capcom has something planned with the future by throwing this bait out into the water? I will see you guys next time. Remember, once again, like, share, comment. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And once again, this is Renegade Operative signing off. Peace out.